This is the kind of a finished rendering of what you're going to be walking through today. On the left is the new hospital, and to the right is the medical services building and cancer center, and we'll be able to see that here shortly. Started from McLaren right now in Lansing is organized in two separate campuses. One's called the Green Lawn campus, and the other one is the Pennsylvania campus. The Green Lawn campus has most of the acute care hospital, bed tower, heart tower, cancer center, emergency room. Most of that is contained at the Green Lawn campus. Penn campus has mostly outpatient surgery components in it currently. And so both of those campuses are, former standalone hospitals that McLaren acquired over time. One was Lansing General, one was Ingham. They became Ingham Regional Medical Center, and then McLaren purchased them maybe 15 years ago, I believe, somewhere in that time frame. And they're quite obsolete. They're getting to be obsolete and not functional. And there were those two hospital campuses were sized to handle, I think, a census of 350 beds, daily patient capacity in their beds, and there's 20 ORs between those two campuses. And the census in Lansing has come down from the time that those were generated, and so being able, needing to improve those facilities, they went through we took them through a significant strategic planning process on whether we renovate and improve the Green Lawn campus, or how do we take them to the future. And it became most feasible to construct an entirely new facility. So this is what's called in medical projects, this is a complete replacement project. Okay. From the Penn campus, it's within the 2-mile radius, and it's on campus with Michigan State, and the footprint still is in the city of Lansing. So we started with a campus-wide service, complete service requirement for master planning the campus and what needed to come in here, best utilizing the real estate, coordinating with the government authorities on what we can do here, oriented on the site so that master planning is kept in mind for future development and future growth opportunities, and figuring out how to best utilize the real estate and deliver the project in the most cost-effective basis. So we utilized a master planning architect who would analyze all the service lines. We went through a dedicated process improvement step where we analyzed each of their critical flows of healthcare for the patient flows, the material flows, the physician and staff flows, and optimized all of those types of things that we call process improvement on the ED floor, the surgical floor, the med-surgical floors, ICU, and came up with a program that was required for the whole project. And then we took each of those individual components of the project and broke them up into separate projects for execution. Harley Ellis and Gresham Smith partners did the architectural and design master planning for what we broke into components for the offsite road and infrastructure, medical services building and cancer center, new hospital and site utilities component of the project, health wellness pavilion, parking deck, a separate medical services building, and then we have off to the side repurposing of the existing campuses that kind of stand outside of the program. And said, okay, we got the offsite utilities program, we talked about the medical services building and cancer center, really big focus on the hospital, health and wellness pavilion, parking deck, and medical services buildings. So each of those got their own project delivery plan, and it gave us an opportunity to spread the work around. You don't even need to look at this slide other than to realize we only talked about construction, okay? That's only maybe the top tier of that list. Everything else underneath that, we're still managing all these other entities that deal with sound and relocation assistance, and you can rattle off a list. So just a quick time, we started the process improvement. That was the optimization of the flows. We ended that in March of 2017. I negotiated a purchase agreement with the foundation in April. We finished what we could. Project initiation phase for us is conceptual design on steroids. We had to get to conceptual design, put together a firm budget, take it to all the corporate boards for approval, make sure all the I's were dotted and T's were crossed to get in line for financing and things like that. And once we broke ground in December 2018, in 3 years we'll be done. And 3 months after that, we'll have first patients in the hospital. And Wellness Pavilion are these existing buildings. These are going to ultimately be renovated for, I would say, non-acute care clinical operations for the hospital. The main project is the hospital inside. So this main hospital building has 562,000 square feet. That has all the main stuff in it that Austin just rattled off. That project, we are using the big horsepower of Bart Mallow Chrisman and Harley Ellis, Gresham Smith, to design and build under a design build contract that whole project and develop the site improvements for the 55 acres that McLaren bought from the MSU Foundation. Connected to it and off to the side is what's called the MSB and Cancer Center.
See out here, this is a good bird's eye view of the overall campus right here. Medical Services Building and Cancer Center that we talked about is right down there below us. So this half nearest to us is the Medical Services Building. So below us, in the north end, the far end, is the Cancer Center. Cancer Center, you see surface parking out there. There'll be a drop-off loop, a dedicated drop-off loop for the Cancer Center, just about where you see the crane sitting, kind of on that corner of the building. Parking decks out back. You see the foundations going in from the parking decks over here to your left. These detention ponds that you see right here, we had to put those in. That was part of the development. Right in front of us here, there'll be an entrance coming off of Forest Road. See where that boulevard's cut in right there?